Welcome to our third and final video on sex education in New Jersey. I'm Lori Kirkendall, and this series has been sponsored by the New Jersey Family Policy Center. I'd like to begin this session with exposing more of the concerns with the new standards. Then we will finish with positive steps you can take for your children and community. These new standards present an approach to sex education called comprehensive sex education that we defined in our first video. They are based on the National Sex Education Standards. The NSES are published by the Future of Sex Education, a collaboration of advocates for youth, Answer, and SIECUS. I'll highlight SIECUS, the Sexuality, Information, and Education Council of the United States, who recently rebranded as Sex Ed for Social Change. You can see on this slide their 5 priorities of what they are looking to accomplish in sex education. These themes are throughout the NSES. I help people understand that these standards are not national, they've not been ratified by any official governing body, and they actually contradict the laws in many of our states. These standards were updated in 2020 and became even more concerning. I encourage you to review them. A link is on the Department of Education resource list. 2 other places I recommend reviewing are the other resources there on the Department of Education list, and also the glossary we referenced in the last video that is a part of the New Jersey standards. I will also bring to your attention the very strong New Jersey Coalition working in support of these concerning standards. Their work is called the New Jersey Sex Education Report Card, and you can see some of their members here, all advocating for comprehensive sex ed. I'd like to next introduce you to a positive alternative to the NSES, and that is the K-12 Standards for Optimal Sexual Development. These standards were published in June 2021 by Medical Institute for Sexual Health and are available at newsexedstandards.org. I led the national team that worked for 3 years developing this resource intended to ultimately replace the National Sex Education Standards. These new standards focus on positive character and healthy relationships beginning in early elementary, and then address puberty and human development along with sexual risks and avoidance heading into middle school. They are research-based, medically accurate, and age-appropriate, inclusive, and trauma-informed, which are all words you will hear in the debates. These new standards have 268 academic references, as opposed to just 38 with the NSES. As their name indicates, their goal is optimal sexual development, and they take the SRA optimal health approach we've looked at previously. We want you to be armed with a positive alternative in helping your local schools develop and adopt curriculum. We want to work towards getting out the negative, but also getting in the positive. So what can concerned parents and policymakers do? First, find out what your local school district is using or considering using for curriculum. Each district is handling the new standards requirements differently. Contact your district curriculum director. Parents have the right to review all materials. Once you see what is being taught, determine specific areas where you have concerns and areas where you are pleased with the direction the district is taking. Be a strong partner and supporter of your local schools. Second, share your concerns with your school district, your elected state legislators, other parents, and community leaders. Now that you are equipped with a better understanding of the new standards and issues related to sex education, you can advocate for optimal health for your students. Let the school know you want to help find positive solutions. Ask state legislators to call on the State Board of Education to revise the health standards and give local districts greater autonomy to not adopt the new concerning sex education standards. Third, advocate for the K-12 standards for curriculum development and education. These new standards can be used in your district to help write curriculum. They can be used as a resource when the standards are revised, and they can be used in your home and communities for helping children and adolescents develop strong character and healthy relationships. Number 4, know your right to opt out and make the best decision for your children. The 1980 Parents' Rights to Conscience Act gave parents the right to opt their children out of any family life or health education. I recommend giving careful consideration to whether or not to opt your child out. First, consider their age and maturity. What do they already know on these topics, and how confident are they in your family's values? Second thing to consider here is what the impact will be at school. If they are removed from the class, whether alone or with several others, there can be peer-related dynamics that result. And consider the likelihood of their peers who did not receive the instruction sharing that information with them at lunch or recess. Opt-out can be very effective if many other families join in. If you decide to allow your child to participate, I suggest sandwiching the class lessons with lots of information from you at home before and after the instruction. And lastly, number 5, be the primary sex educator of your children. Step up to the responsibility of teaching these important topics at home in the context of your family's values. Teach them incrementally over time and as part of ongoing conversations. There are many helpful resources to help you do this. You want your child to know the truth so well that they recognize right away and reject information that is not true or that violates your family's values. They are learning about sex not just at school, but also from their peers and from the culture at large. Steer them away from pornography and dangerous images and pressure. Give them clear boundaries for dating and technology. Focus less on rules and more on reasons for making smart and healthy decisions about sex. Today's young people live in a sex-saturated society with sexual messages, images, and pressure everywhere. We would love to see our homes, communities, and schools united in guiding and supporting them towards optimal sexual health, bolstering young people against the cultural lies. Their current physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual health, along with their future health, marriage, and family, are on the line. I hope you'll use the information shared here to make a difference in your home and community. For more information, please contact New Jersey Family Policy Center at njfpc.org. Thank you so much for joining us.